Hello guys, and welcome to yet another airsoft review video. Today we are going to be talking about the AW Custom, the Ace Competitor. It's a Hi-Capa GBB pistol, and we're going to go ahead and touch on all the points on what this pistol is all about, what kind of power it brings, what is it made out of, overall quality, and just other little features and tidbits that I can help further the thought of you guys buying this one or not. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So first and foremost, I have, as you guys can tell, the all black variant. There are multiple different colors that this one comes in. They do have a red tone and a two-tone, which is basically silver and black. So this one is all black. I went with all black just for the sake of it looking cooler, in my opinion. And with that said, they also do have different variants with the power options. So this one right here is the green gas model, while the green gas one is a little bit less. There is another option available as far as CO2 power, and that one's a little bit of a higher price point, but CO2 and green gas is going to be the one that this one comes in. And there is also different packages and stuff like that that e-bike sells, for example. This one is actually one that I bought from KY Airsoft's website, and as far as how the package arrived, it arrived in actually a pretty good time frame. Everything was solid. It was just like any other unboxing that I've ever done before with e-bike, for example, or Airsoft GI, etc., etc. So this is again one that was ordered overseas, and I honestly had no issues with it. So next, let's go ahead and talk about overall build quality. This pistol is going to be basically all metal. So you're going to have a metal slide. The entirety of the slide is metal. You have the lower portion of the pistol that's metal as well, with the addition of some polymer components. So this is going to be kind of a hybrid of those, but majority of it is going to be metal. It's going to be decently heavy on the hand, but again, a lot of airsofters find that as a satisfactory type of thing. So for those that like heavier airsoft pistols, this ain't too bad. It's functionable. It does have a polymer trigger guard and polymer hand grips and polymer mag wells. So just something to keep in mind. Aside from that, your slide catch is metal, the trigger is metal, and the hammer and the beaver tail is also metal as well. If we're talking sights, they are basically the same thing for the most part, a mixture of metal and then a little bit of plastic for the actual sight tips themselves. You'll have orange in the back and then green in the front here, and then it is a ported slide as well. So basically it's ported or split slide, whatever you want to call it, basically indicating that it's going to be cut. So when this thing cycles, it's basically shown as so. It's going to have ports in the barrel. This again is by no means realistic in the airsoft world, but for the real steel version of it, this is just for the gas to vent from the barrel. So again, it's for less blowback, less kickback, whatever you want to call it, but again, irrelevant in the airsoft world. But when we're talking for the rest of the quality build, it's very solid. Again, you rack the slide, you slide it forward, it locks back, it clicks together very nice. Not a whole lot of wobble, so it's pretty stout. It's very well built, I would say. This is my first time buying this type of brand or from this company, so it's a first for me as far as experience goes, as far as quality and how long it's going to last. But external quality is fantastic, I would say. I don't really have too much negative to say about it. Now, just touching back on sights, I do want to talk about this because it is something that's, I think, relevant, especially for those that may want to either run the steel sights or they might want to mount some kind of a optic on it. So again, you have adjustable sights, and again, you can do so with a flathead screwdriver. This is also removable as well in case you did want to mount some kind of an optic on the back. And again, you have these cool little orange neon sticks for the actual sights, and basically the same thing up front. You have one that's green, so it's kind of cool for aesthetic purposes. I like it. Others may not. Others may want something that's maybe blackened. Maybe they want to change out the entire sight completely to something else. So the thing is with these Hi-Capa pistols, they usually have a lot of interchangeable parts. So whatever custom things you may want, It's generally pretty straightforward. For me, I am pretty simple, and I really am content with what it already comes with out of the box, and I think it will do the job just fine. Now I do want to touch on this a little bit just because I am impressed with the accessory rail for this pistol. It is a pretty long barrel overall, and you have a lot of room to mount some kind of a attachment, whether it's a laser attachment, flashlight, or a combo of both. You have a lot of room to work with, so this is a pretty decently sized flashlight. It's an old one that I've had for years and years now. It's seen many pistols, and this one, the combination looks pretty awesome to me. And again, it kind of gives you a perspective. It's probably a good few inches of space there, and you could really mount anything on there. Now let's talk magazines. So you're going to have a traditional Hi-Capa looking magazine out of the box. Again, this is the green gas / propane variant. This model does also come in the CO2 variant as well, which I do not have, but again, it's a pretty similar build, I would imagine, with the green gas brand. So again, you have a nozzle on the bottom. This is where you're going to feed in your green gas, and it is a 30 round magazine. +1 as listed on the website, and then again you have your gas assembly for this magazine. It's a very nice, pretty decent paint job. It's pretty solid, pretty heavy, as most magazines are for the GBB world. For those of you that may not know what a gas blowback is, or may not be familiar with these terms, a gas blowback is basically where the gas helps cycle the slide with each trigger pull, thus loading the BB in automatically, so semi-automatically. So again, almost like a real firearm, the gas blowback airsoft pistols and rifles are going to function in a similar fashion. So again, just a quick little education bit for those that might be completely new to airsoft and may not know anything about these things. Magazine, again, very straightforward, nothing crazy. You could either feed it from the top, or you could bring the peg all the way down and speed load it from the bottom with a speed loader. Now just be mindful and try to bring this thing back up slowly if you do it on an empty magazine, because you do not want this spring to shoot out and break the tip of the magazine. It has happened to people I know. It happened to me personally, so just be very careful, because these springs do become under a lot of tension when you pull them all the way down. So just something to be mindful of. Now we'll go ahead and get into the actual power test of this thing. So out of the box, it's rated at 300 to 330 feet per second with 0.2 gram BBs. We're going to go ahead and do some chrono shots of this thing. We'll get an accurate reading to see how hot this thing exactly shoots out of the box. So again, we'll get into that, and it is just so satisfying to just rack this thing. These serrations are just a beautiful thing. Let's go ahead and get into it. For those of you that enjoy wearing gloves in the airsoft field, you're going to love these serrations, because they're nice and deeply cut on the front and on the back. And again, you could either rack the slide from the front, or you could do it from the back. That's what she said. Whatever for comfortability is your preference, you kind of have best of both worlds on this pistol. Alright guys, now let's kind of recap on a few points before we end the video. So overall, we have a very comfortable, very sporty looking pistol. Again, AW Custom I think did a fantastic job with overall build from front to back on this thing. Again, from the fiber optic sights to the great rail length on the bottom of the pistol, the serrations, the decently sized mag capacity, even gas consumption on this thing is not bad at all. It has a decently weighted slide to where it's not too heavy to where it's eating a lot of gas, but at the same time it's efficient. It's efficient for what you're trying to get out of an airsoft pistol, specifically a GBB pistol like this one. Now, price point is definitely up there. You are going to be spending closer to the $180 mark for this particular variant. Again, something that can either be not too bad of a price point, or it could be one that might be a little bit too steep for you. As far as my recommendations go, depending on your budget, of course, most pistols out there can be for beginners, for anybody that's in the middle, or for those that are very experienced. This one can probably hit all three of those categories, and again, for the simplicity of use, it doesn't really require a whole lot of maintenance. A lot of parts are interchangeable and customizable, which definitely does appeal to most. For me, I'm pretty bare bones, I'm not too picky on that, but there's those that might change magwells, might change grips, triggers, trigger guards, slide colors, different tones and variants out there. That is going to be this model right here. Very simple, very straightforward to use, and a lot of customizable options. Overall, I give this pistol a pretty solid just rating, and from my point of view, of course, and I really hope this helps finalize a purchase for some of you that might be watching this video that might be on the fence. We had a chance again to see the power. We saw the chrono readings and kind of averaged it out as far as what to expect for this thing to be shooting at out of the box. And hope you guys definitely enjoyed this review. It's definitely more on the in-depth side, but of course there could be things that were missed. If there is anything that I can help shed light on, by no means, please comment on this video and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to get some answers for you on this thing. Other than that, I hope you guys liked the video. Share it with others if you like. I don't mind whatever you do with it, but again, I always appreciate the views, and again, hope you guys like this video. Have a good one.